You know, I can't swear to what these are, but I bet you they're not aspirin. So why don't you tell me what they are?
Hey, no habla español.
Don't stall me, man. You can't come up with a decent story on such short notice, so just tell me the truth. I want to know where you got these babies and what you've been doing with them for the last few months. Why don't we start at the beginning? Like with my wife. I can tear you apart for what you did to her.
Lily?
No! Brick!
Brick, for God's sake!
Don't take another step where she's dead!
Brick, Mason, this is what he said!
Imagine, Lily, choking for air and there is none, huh? But this is faster than asphyxiation by smoke, so you still want us to suffer what Amy's suffering?
You don't want to hurt her.
That's where you're wrong. You're very wrong. No, I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna give you that.
Go.
Not with witnesses! Because when it happens, you know me! Because when it happens, it's gonna be the way it was with Amy. And no one, everyone's gonna be able to tell about it, except no one is gonna be able to prove it.
All right?
He wouldn't have harmed me.
You get out of here before I change my mind.
I think I warned you not to come here. Haven't you had enough?
If there's anything I could ever do, I wish I could erase all this and bring your wife back to you.
Don't tell me. Tell her boy. He's upstairs waiting. But I warn you, he cries a lot. Cries for his mother. He can't understand why she doesn't answer.
The stage manager didn't tell me anybody was here. Well, there was nobody around when I came in. Eden, I'm in the middle of a matinee.
Yes, I know.
I have to change for the second act.
Well, we can talk while you do that.
Talk about what?
Well, I wanted to thank you for coming over last night and telling me what happened between you and Cruz and Katie Timmons.
Cruz thought it was time you knew. Thank him, not me.
I will, as soon as you tell me all the parts you left out.
What's Santana got to do with my prescription?
Ooh. Okay, what are you going to tell me, man? These were prescribed for you.
Yeah, I get migraine headaches. I feel one coming on right now.
Where's the label?
Peeled off. I've had them for 2 years.
So what do? Just transfer the label from Santana's prescription to allergy pills, that is?
Let me tell you a story about a retarded cop who buries...
Don't tell me the story about no... Tell me the story about where the pharmacy is you got these from. Who the doctor is. Why don't you save us both a lot of time, man? The lab can date these. Just tell me the truth.
Ah, come on, Castillo. You planted those pills. You couldn't find any proof for your slimy accusation, so you invented some.
I didn't have to.
What do you think, I'm blind? You come right in here, right to the cat box? I mean, what is it? Is this in the police manual? When in doubt, go straight to the kitty litter for evidence?
Listen, man, what can I tell you? Some of us have better instincts than others of us.
It's fatal. Oh, you arranged this. You and Vic... Bingo. I am so stupid. Victoria asked me to leave this place. So it'll be free for you to come in here and drop your make-believe evidence. All right?
Yeah, that's an interesting theory, Keith. I'd like to stick around and see you whip out another one, but I got to get these to the lab.
It's entrapment. Your lab work isn't going to prove squat.
You going to talk to me about entrapment? I guess we all have different ways of going about that. Some of us prefer wiretapping, for instance.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the fact that you tapped my phone, man, like I already explained to you.
You know, I've always thought the proof was required in a case like this, so I wish you luck.
Oh, thank you. I don't think I'll need it, but thank you all.
Why?
Come on, now, tilt your head up half an inch. Look away from me just a little bit. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Nick.
Huh?
How do you know when people are through talking to you on the phone?
Relax, Alice. Take it easy. Let's see. Well, I guess, first of all, they'd say something like, goodbye. And, then you'd hear a click.
You know, they never let me use the telephone in the hospital, and, you know, I don't know why. I mean, are they dangerous or something? I think it would be very nice to call and talk to somebody. Nick, if you do that, it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, you just can't be punching in numbers like that at random.
Why not?
Because you don't know who you will get on the other end.
You mean you have to know them first? No wonder they wouldn't let me.
Well, you weren't talking at the hospital then anyway, were you? Why was that, Alice? Hey, look, it's all right. It doesn't matter right now. Look, you may call somebody you like, but first you have to know how to do it. No, that's not it either.
Oh, Nick, why do you keep doing this?
What?
Pictures, pictures, pictures. You take so many. Doesn't your finger ever get tired?
Never. But, yeah. But unfortunately, I always do come to the end of a roll of film, like I just did.
Thank goodness you take so many pictures. You know, there's not going to be anything left. I mean, what do you do with them anyway? Oh, I know. You take them and you put them in a development class.
Right, and then they're going to go into a portfolio.
You know, I once saw a silly gangster show about it takes place in Port Charles.
No, Alice, a portfolio is a book. It's like a collection of photographs.
You mean you're going to save them?
Uh-huh.
Oh, gosh, I knew a boy like you on the ward once. You know, he saved everything. He had boxes of bubble gum and he had stockings that he found on the street.
These are pictures that people can look at of you. So they can see all the different ways that you can make other people stop and think about whatever. Maybe a dress you're wearing, jewelry, maybe some nice makeup, maybe a car you're sitting in. And after they stop and look at it, maybe, just maybe, they'll want to buy it.
I don't want people to buy my clothes. I just got them. They're brand new.
No. You'd wear other people's clothes who want to sell them. And you know what? They'll pay you a lot of money.
You're making this up.
No, I am not. I think you could have a very big career, Alice.
What makes you think she wants one?
No one's going to force her into anything that she doesn't want to do.
Hello, Jane. Nick is driving me crazy. He's telling me stories about people who don't want their clothes anymore, so give them to me to wear.
Yes, I know what he's telling you, but you're happy with the way things are now, aren't you?
Oh, yes. It's very exciting. And Mr. Lockwood says I never have to leave.
That's right. And there's plenty to do to keep you busy, isn't there?
Oh, yes. It's such a big house. I get to cook anything I want, and then I get to make the beds just right, you know, little house.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you suggesting that Alice can find her fulfillment in housekeeping?
That's not what I meant at all. And where'd you get this dress? I haven't seen that before.
Isn't it pleasant? Nick bought it for me.
How much was it? We'll pay you back.
The dress was a present.
What's the matter, Jean? Are you in a bad mood at me?
All right. You didn't know. From now on, you can't accept gifts from men. You have your own money from your mother, Ollie. It's not right.
You should have told me.
Alice.
Let me take it off.
Why did you do that? Make her ashamed. In case you didn't realize that she is doing me a favor, allowing me to take pictures of her. Now I thought I would do something nice in return. And you've turned it into something sinister.
Nick.
Alice, at this point in her life, really doesn't differentiate between you or anyone else. She can't go around accepting gifts from everyone passing by. And some men might think that she owes them something for it.
Hi. Anybody want to join me in the great outdoors? I'm going to dig in the garden.
Mm-mm. You are talking to the original brown thumb. I cannot take care of a single house plant without putting it on the critical list.
Well, you don't know what you're missing. Oh, have you seen Alice?
Oh, she just went upstairs.
But, would you do me a favor and ask her not to make my bed? I'm not used to having that much fuss made over me, and besides, she makes it so well, I can't get into it.
You see, Alice can be hurt very easily right now. And I want to do whatever I can to keep that from happening.
If you care about Alice as much as you say you do, have some respect for her intuition, her instincts, and try not to make her suspicious of men as you seem to be. Huh?
Then what? Miracle, right? You met Lily Light and turned the other cheek and lived happily ever after. Well, if I wanted to be like you, Mason, that's what I'd do. But all you are to me is an example. The snake, when he loses his skin, he's still a snake.
Rick, Mason and Lily helped me when I was desperate.
Well, I'm not desperate. I know what to do and where to turn.
Come on, Lily, you've done all you can. It's up to Brigg now.
Maybe it was a mistake that I came here. If I've done any more harm to you, I just want you to know it was the farthest thing from my mind. I'll go.
No, it's all right.
Brigg, you're exhausted. Please, just let me do something.
Johnny and I understand each other. Right now, that's the only thing I've got. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm sorry, and thanks for everything.
I'll be back. Even if you don't want me to.
Eden, I've told you all that there is to tell. I don't want to go into it again. It's not something that I like to talk about.
Not talking about it is one thing. Actively going out of your way to avoid it is another. I mean, to hear you tell it, you and Cruz, all you did was fall in love. That's not a felony.
It is when it results in a young woman dying. It's just pretty ugly.
If Katie Timmons took her own life because you and Cruz loved each other, then something was wrong to begin with. I don't understand why you two blame each other.
I blame myself because I should have seen it coming. When I got those letters, well, I told you about the letters.
Yes, you did.
Well, they were pretty intense, to say the least.
Were you jealous? What? Well, she must have told you her feelings for Cruz. Was it hard to take such a close look at another woman's soul?
Why don't you read the letters and see for yourself?
What now?
Yes, you have enough time while I'm on stage. They'll explain better than I ever could.
Oh, excuse me. Have you seen Mason Temple around?
No, ma'am. Would you like for me to check to see if he has a reservation?
That's all right. Thank you.
Hi, it's me. I'm at the Orient Express. Guess who I just saw having a drink? Did you get the warrant? Did you search his apartment yet?
Yes, as a matter of fact. I'm just waiting for the lad to confirm my suspicions about what I found there. You want to, Santana?
Gosh, I didn't know you were in on it, too.
Keith.
Nothing like a group effort, is there? Let's see, there's you, Cruz, Victoria, who else? And one to get the pills, one to keep me away from the apartment, the other one to plant it in a good spot.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
Oh, come on. I was standing right here when you asked Cruz if he searched the place.
I knew Cruz that was getting a warrant. I just wanted to know what happened.
Somebody set me up, either one of you or all of you. I want to know who.
Oh, that's typical, isn't it? The one who's guilty spends most of his time trying to point the finger at everyone else.
Stop singing the same old tired song.
I'll tell you when I'll stop. When they put you in jail where you belong. That won't even begin to make up for what you've done to me.
I really hope that's not a mirage I'm looking at.
I thought you might be thirsty.
Madam, I am eternally in your debt.
Well, it is pretty hot to be out here rooting around in the dirt.
Yeah, well, my hands are used to shovels. Salute. In fact, look. Look at this. If you look very carefully,
A fossilized manito.
I'm impressed. You're wrong, but I'm impressed. Now, it is actually, you know what this is? It is a petrified herbal grass succulent. But we have about 12 of them I've dug up over the years.
You're into paleontology?
Oh, a little archaeology and anthropology. It's been kind of a consuming passion since I was a boy.
Me too, paleontology.
Really?
Yeah, I just study all my books. I almost majored in it.
Well,
You go on digs and things like that.
well, up until very recently, I used to go on a couple expeditions a year. How about you?
Oh, no, I haven't. But I've always wished I could. I used to hang out at the Natural History Museum when I was a kid. It's a great place to spend time when I didn't want to be home.
What was wrong with home?
There wasn't one. Not really, not the usual sense. My mom, she, never seemed to be able to keep the same man in her life for more than a few months. But lucky for me, whenever we moved, we seemed to move to a place big enough that'd have its own museum, and I'd make that my home.
You haven't mentioned a father.
I never had the pleasure. Not really. So, how about you? How did you get started in digging things up?
Oh, my mother and father were born explorers. My father was a real adventurer, and I do believe that my mother invented the word. Yeah, they spent half their life on safari.
How romantic.
Yeah, they were quite a pair. You know, my father built this house. Till very recently, the place was bursting with locker gears. We had them coming out of the walls. Kids, my mother.
I miss it.
Kids gotta grow up and go away sometimes, don't they? You know what? I better get back to work here. I promised that I would clear this area. My mother always wanted to make a little garden here, and I thought I'd do it while she was away. Eh?
Oh, that is so sweet of you.
Oh, listen, she's done plenty for me. That is when she's not in an absolutely incorrigible mood, which is quite often.
Well, I want you to tell me that. Tell me more. Go ahead.
Tell you more? Well, we better not get started. We'll be here all night.
Well, it was a good thing that I made plenty of our feet.
Any word from the lab? Since when do they come up with anything in less than an hour? Yeah, I guess I am jumping the gun a little bit. Yeah, I guess so. What do you expect to find in those pills anyway? Plenty, man. When I do, it's going to turn this department, hell, the whole city upside down. Well, that sounds big. Yeah, it is. It's political. Listen, Paul, you don't have to stick around here and hold my hand. You know, I can wait for this stuff by myself. You sure? Well, anything is better than watching you burn a hole in your wristwatch. Who burn a hole in your wristwatch? Who's the girl? Oh, no, don't play detective with me, out loud. Yeah, I'll give her my best. I will. Oh, Mason, what can I do for you?
I thought we ought to put our heads together about this Amy Wallace inquiry. I'm going to be representing Haley at the hearing.
Yeah, so I heard. I hope whoever is representing Ted gives him better advice than you have.
Yeah, I thought I should just be up on any evidence that you guys have gathered. I don't want to keep showing up with any surprises.
All right. Everything we've got is in this folder. You're free to look it over.
Thank you.
Listen, all I've got you here, maybe I should pick your legal brain.
Such as it is.
I've got a hypothetical question for you.
That's convenient. I specialize in hypothetical law.
Suppose there was this guy who was in service to the public in a responsible position, and he was found to be in possession of some controlled substances that were illegally obtained. What would happen to this public servant?
Well, one thing, I don't think he'd be a public servant much longer.
So he'd lose his job. Would he also go to jail?
That would depend on his lawyer. I could probably keep him from serving time.
And what if the same guy gave these same controlled substances to some other person without her knowledge?
Are we talking about the same person I think we're talking about?
I'm not at liberty to divulge names.
Well, I am. If you're saying that Keith Timmons could be locked up, I can assure you I'd like nothing better. If there's anything I can do to speed things along, you just let me know.
They're painful, aren't they? Even now. Imagine how I felt knowing her. Even though I knew Cruz didn't have the same feelings for her, it was painful knowing how much he loved her. Yeah. Do you mind handing me my robe? I think it's on that chair over there. Thank you. So you understand a little better now?
Yes, I guess I do a little.
How was your show today? Well, the audience seemed pretty restless. You know, it's a beautiful day. I think everybody wanted to be out playing tennis, me included.
I hate tennis.
Well, hang gliding then. You and Cruz ever?
No, we don't hang glide.
Oh, well, I guess that was back in the old days. I don't think you have time for that anymore.
I don't think it's a matter of time.
Oh, you know what I mean. Jobs, responsibilities. People change. He was very different then.
For better or worse.
Just different. He used to be so wild and impulsive. I didn't think he'd ever change.
He's impulsive now. And so am I. We're both very explosive at times.
Yes, well, you obviously can handle that. He seems to enjoy just staying at home with you.
You make that sound kind of deadly.
I don't mean to.
I think you do. I think you like to suggest that I've taken this magnificent, untamed creature and domesticated him into mediocrity.
I hope not. That would be a sure way to lose him, don't you think?
You think I deserve to lose Cruz?
You're putting words in my mouth.
I just think it'd be a shame if he lost his old spirit. And how am I contributing to that? I never said you were. Do you ever think that maybe it's not healthy to think about how things used to be all the time? Most people, they accept change. You seem to be in a constant state of mourning.
I'm not mourning anything
You
in my
aren't?
life. No.
You don't think about how you and Cruz could have been married?
It didn't happen, so what's the point of dwelling on it?
Maybe you should ask that of yourself. If you're still in love with him.
Is that a question?
Sure. I'd love to know.
I still have very warm feelings for Cruz. I can't imagine feeling otherwise. But unrequited love is not something I've had much appetite for.
Thank you.
For what?
Or you could have told me it was none of my business. But after all, you would have been wrong.
I think that would have created more tension between us. I don't want that.
What do you want, Victoria Lane?
Between us? Mutual respect, I guess. Friendship is possible. You think it's possible?
Anything's possible. I really don't think the odds favor it, though.
We have got an awful lot in common.
That's what I mean. Goodbye, Victoria.
I didn't realize I was going to be interrupting the photo session.
No, not at all.
Nick always seems to ignore him. Very strange.
Exactly. Just pretend I'm not here.
Well, certainly try.
And Mr. Lockridge, he's in the garden with his shovel digging up his own grass. Isn't that odd? You know, people who don't live in hospitals do the craziest things. I don't even get to sleep in the afternoon anymore because I'm so excited about what they're going to be doing.
Well, I can see how excited you are. Well, what are the pictures for?
Oh, Nick's putting together a book with pictures about me, and I don't know, who would want to look at a book like that?
Oh, I think Nick does.
I'm putting together a portfolio for Alice. I'm sure we're going to find a lot of interest in her for modeling.
Well, is it easier to get certain kinds of work if you have somebody that you don't pay to post it?
No, I meant work for Alice.
Not saying anything. Paulie's really got his hopes up.
Oh, no. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble. I mean, if you're happy about this, then great. That's great.
Oh, I'm happy.
Good.
Yes, but I always eat dinner at 6:30 p.m. on the dot and not before. I know I don't have to anymore, but I still do.
Okay. But if we leave real soon, we can have the forks in our hands. We're ready to go by 6:30. That is, if you want to have dinner with me.
Jane, I'm going to have dinner with Paul. Unless that's like receiving a gift. Well, you know, dinner and a dress Well, they're not quite the same. So if it's not okay, then I will make dinner here, and then Paul will eat here, and then we don't have to go out. So you tell me what you think.
Who's she, your mother?
It's okay. You can go out. Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you very much, Jane.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Lionel.
Hey. I can change clothes faster than anybody. You want to see me?
Wait. Do me a favor. When you're changing, change out of this, too. You don't need it.
Okay. Well, it's sticky and it gets all over the place, and the only reason I wear it is because the light meter says so.
And the princess's name was Samoya. Well, they buried her with her favorite pet, which was a cat, you see. And when they found the mummy, it was amazingly well preserved, but there was one great big surprise.
Well, what?
When they examined the mummy at the museum later, they found this beautiful gold and emerald amulet around its neck. Not the mummy, the cat. They never thought they'd find that kind of treasure on the cat.
Well, where is it now?
Oh, it's in a glass case in the museum in Cairo. There's also a picture of some buddies of mine and me somewhere off to the side. I guess it's about as near as I ever got to being famous, except that one time I was on TV.
You were on TV?
Oh, it was just a local station. It was just like that.
Well, what was it? Oh, a talk show. You interviewed other amateur archaeologists, things like that?
I was a mattress salesman.
You what? No.
Yeah. I did it as a dare. It's a long story. Anyway, you know, I kind of lived life to the fullest.
Oh.
You know, you are the strangest man I've ever met.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to work to get there, either.
People say that I'm strange, too.
Really? Join the club. Okay? Come on.
Come on in.
This is very nice. I guess the star gets the best dressing room.
Can I offer you something to drink? I think it's late enough to have wine.
No, thank you.
Well, I'm going to have a little.
You said you wanted to talk to me.
Yes. I think you're the only one who would understand. Ever since I've been back here, I have felt very isolated. It seems that I spend all my time here. See, I was looking forward to coming home and seeing a lot of my old friends, and now it seems that my old friends don't want to see me. They're too involved with other people.
Is this about Keith? What did he say to you? I don't understand why he'd be angry with you.
No, Keith really doesn't have any use for me, and I just assumed he ignored me.
I see. You were talking about Cruz, weren't you?
Yeah. Ever since I've been back, I run into him, and he's cold and distant. I mean, I didn't expect to pick up where we left off, but I thought at least we would be friends.
Why do you think he's acting like that?
I don't know. It's so unlike him. He's so polite and proper. Maybe Eden doesn't want him talking to me. I can't see why she would object, though. He seems so devoted to her.
He is. Trust me.
I'm sorry. I brought up a sore subject.
No. Eden has been a fact of my life for a long time, and I've decided that I'm just going to stop letting that run me. I'm going to stop running away from it. You see, Eden has always been first with Cruz. Looks like she always will be.
Think they're going to get married?
Oh, as soon as my divorce is final with Cruz. Probably the same second.
Well, no. Things could change between now and then. It happens.
No, not with those two. Anyone who tries to get between those two will be in for a rude awakening.
Then why is she so possessive and insecure?
Eden?
Because she was over here earlier. She wanted to know if I was still in love with Cruz. Now, why would she even ask that unless she felt threatened?
That doesn't even sound like her. I was the one who was always threatened. I hated every second of it.
Hi, girl. You tell her yet, Santana? Tell Armand you both? Why don't we start with which one of you actually planted the pill?
Alice. I'll get fatter than Nurse Brighton, and she's fat.
You don't order everything on the menu. Just order a couple of things. Besides, nobody would even notice another 10 pounds on you anyway.
Oh, no. You know those models that Nick showed me in the magazines? They're all very skinny.
Alice, you've had nothing but hospital food for the last umpteen years. I mean, if you can't even go to a restaurant and enjoy yourself, then maybe you should just give this modeling idea another thought.
What's the matter? You mad?
No, I'm not mad. I just don't think you're ready for this right now. I mean, most people aren't even ready for it. And they didn't just get out of the hospital. It's a very tough business, Alice.
Well, I'm a tough cookie. I mean, that's what Pearl told me. And you know what else? I'm better now, anyhow, and I'm better now.
Well, I know, you're talking. I mean, you prove that much.
Well, not only that, I take my own bath, I cook. Courtney showed me how to shave my legs. Isn't that interesting?
Very.
And you know what else? Remember how I used to be scared of you? Well, I'm not anymore. And that thing that you used to show me, that thing, that
my badge?
Show it to me now.
Are you sure you want to see it? I mean, we came here to have a nice time. I don't want you to get upset.
I want to see it. I want to prove it.
See? Still bothers you, doesn't it? It's not that easy, is it? I mean, there must be something wrong. There must be something there with it. What is it?
My daddy?
Oh, what happened?
A policeman shot him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Was he killed?
No, he didn't die.
Well, when was this? Okay, look, let's just forget it. We won't talk about that anymore, okay? Alice?
Excuse me. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine.
Oh, there's your face, Nick. I thought you had a big round piece of glass for a nose.
There's that beautiful smile. That beautiful $1 million smile.
Hey, let's not keep putting a price on it, okay?
Such innocent expression. One can see why they pay to see you on the stage. Quite an actress, isn't she?
What is he talking about? Cruz found some pills in Kate's apartment. They were the same kind of pills that we used a long time ago to get me addicted.
How did you know they were the same pills? You filled the bottle? Hmm?
I've known that you were behind those pills for months.
You guys, I don't understand any of this.
Is this your idea of trying to worm your way back into your boyfriend's heart? I mean, keeping me away from the apartment so she could stuff the pills into my kitty litter?
What?
Or was this your arrangement with Cruz?
You get out of here right now, or I'm calling a guard.
Oh, the great lady speaks. Let me tell you one thing. If this hits the fan, it's going to blow back in both your faces. I don't care if you're trying to scheme your way into Cruz's mattress. But if you keep slinging mud at me to curry favor with him, let me tell you, all the armed guards, all the attack dogs in the world aren't going to keep me from slamming your two lovely, lovesick heads together, you know.
Yeah, I have some information I thought might be of interest. It involves the DA's office. There's going to be an internal investigation soon regarding drug trafficking. It involves a highly placed individual. I can't be specific. Yeah, and they'll be trying to keep it under wraps, of course, but this is too big to stay quiet for long. No, I can't tell you my name. I'm just a friend and well-wisher.
Who's that?
No one for you to be concerned about.
I could think about something else. Every time I close my eyes, all I can see is Brick Wallace's face.
He won't be in that state for long. A little luck and time, he'll start to heal, just like I did.
Have you? Is that all it took? Luck and time?
You helped in the beginning, Lily. I can't deny that. But I think I'm about ready to go it on my own.
What do you mean?
Well, there comes a time in every relationship where you've learned everything you can from the other person. I think we may have reached that point.
I haven't reached that point.
We got along fine before I came along, Lily. We will again.
Jason, what about all the things you said to me last night?
Whispered words of love were not among them.
I'm well aware of that. I know you don't need me as much as I need you.
If you needed me all that much, Lily, you would have confided in me.
I have confided in you.
No, not completely. You have a perfect right to keep secrets if you want to, Lily, but I have a right to want an honest relationship. If you and I can't come to some sort of understanding, we'll just have to come to a parting of the ways. Unless you tell me why you're here, I can't afford you as a liability any longer.
Saw in the fields, didn't you?
Why did you hang up on me before?
Keith was around. Never mind. Now, the pills that you found, are they the same ones that were in my allergy prescription?
Well, the lab report didn't come back yet. But they looked exactly the same. I think Angel was on the level when he told you that Keith was the supplier.
And we'll finally be able to prove it.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that if we do, you won't have to face that hit and run charge.
You know, I still can't help being ashamed of letting him use me. I really should have realized what was going on.
Well, you know, people are vulnerable when they're unhappy. You're no exception. Neither am I, for that matter. I just hope you never find yourself that unhappy again.
I've been working on it.
I can see that. Santana, I'm really proud of you.
I hope that someday we won't remember how it ended. We'll only remember how it began. Night.
Good night.
Inspector, Miss Keppel left this for you.
Thank you, John. I'm going to the airport. I want to see where it all happened. Meet me. Eden.
You don't know what you're asking.
I'm asking you to take down barriers, Lily. I don't like not knowing what I'm dealing with. And with you, I feel like I'm dealing with something different every day.
I haven't told anyone. Not since I was a child.
Then it's probably time you did.
I'm afraid to hear myself talk about it. It's just so ugly. So ashamed. Are you sure this is the only way that I can keep you with me?
Uh-huh. Ultimatum time. It happens to the best of us.
And there's one thing you have to swear to me. That you'll never tell anyone unless you have my consent.
Lily, it can't be that
I
bad.
mean it, Mason. Those are my conditions.
All right, you have my word. Now tell me.
Maybe that's why I had to invent myself. I felt so worthless. Like nothing. I finally made up my mind that I was going to be so special that everyone had to pay attention to me. Even...
All right. I understand. It all makes a bizarre kind of sense now.
Why did you come here?
I guess I just wanted to see why this place was so special.
It's not so special, not to me.
It was once. It was exciting, you and Victoria, wasn't it?
I don't think about it.
You don't miss it?
Of course not.
You don't need excitement anymore.
Eden, you give me just about as much excitement as a man could handle.
I don't mean that. I mean, sometimes things can get too comfortable.
You and me? Not a chance.
How do you know?
I know because you have an absolutely unfailing instinct to keep doing weird things. Now, let's get out of here.
No. I want to stay.
You really worried about us getting too comfortable? Feel a little less comfortable now? Like this? I want you to promise me something. That you will stop thinking that this place or any other place could mean anything to me if you weren't here. I want you to forget all about that.
Make me. Would you please make me forget?
It's homecoming week on NBC, and tonight on the season premiere of Highway to Heaven, can Michael Landon help a tormented woman and an embittered child face the ultimate test of love? Then on a special one-hour season premiere of Gimme a Break, Nell's Leaving Home, followed by the season premiere of St. Elsewhere, winner of 6 Emmys, more than any other television program this year.